We're going to talk today a little bit about how we run organizations, whether it's our IT organization within the department or it's just the global organization, and how we drive culture. One of the first things that I wanted to talk to you about, and I like to talk about trees because I think we did this in another episode a few weeks ago, was really about a tree, and one that ultimately we talked a little bit about it, that's going to bear fruit. I don't think I have it. We'll do green fruit for today because that's all we got. Markers left over. Anyway, so when you think about the way in which we approach a conversation, the first thing we have to look at is what we call in steps the reality of something. And I think in any walk of life, in our business, in our personal lives, whatever that might be, we have to identify the reality of something, whether that be sales is down, this product in the IT space is no longer needed, but everything has a reality. Just like a tree, when it doesn't grow fruit anymore, that's just a reality. So what we have to do around that tree is go into the soil and understand really evaluation of why that soil is not bearing fruit in our tree, okay? So a few weeks ago we talked about seasons, now we're going to talk about why that soil isn't putting fruit in the tree. So the second step into this process is acceptance. Acceptance. Which means that once we understand the reality and we come to a common agreement amongst our teams, we have to accept what it is and understand what we're going to do going forward. The third part of the process, which is pretty straightforward, is once you've done the evaluation and acceptance, you do the evaluation. I apologize, I kind of got that backwards. So you have to evaluate why it's not growing. If it's in sales, is it because we have the wrong product? Is it the wrong team? If it's in IT, is the product old? Is it not working in our organization? Is our data center failing all the time? You have to evaluate what the problem is. The fourth step, which is the thing that we do worst as humans, and it's just part of the brain and how we process things, is we tend to do this, which is judge, which is the worst thing we can do as human beings. And that comes from the emotional side of the brain. If you guys have studied emotional EQ, this is the thing that our brains trigger to do, which is judge. And what we have to do is get rid of that judgment and give what we call in the fifth step, our people, truth, or trust, as they would say, and what we call grace. So ultimately, as we talk about trust, as we come into a conversation, if we can follow these 5 steps by going through and first defining in any conversation we get into what the reality of it is, and then accepting that has to be that way, and then figuring out how to evaluate what's happening in the soil, and then of course, like I said, not judging, we will take every conversation we have and talk through it with a trust situation between us. And the way to do that is simply like this. Instead of saying the word I would do something, we use the words in my experience. Imagine what I'm writing there, I'm sure you can't tell. In my experience, I've seen this. And that way there's no judgment. It's just something you've experienced in your business or in your personal life that ultimately helps you make better decisions to come and deal with the reality of whatever it may be that you're up against. So think about that as you run your IT businesses, you run your internal IT departments, how you have better conversations. And we'll continue on this like emotional EQ, as they call it, figuring out how to make you guys better leaders inside of the companies and ultimately have trust within your teams. Thanks, guys.